to make puri, kachori, samosa, sweet ball. We were having very nice feast every Sunday. On Saturday night we would prepare so many things and stocked it, and Sunday distributing. People would take, oh, so nice. At least in that time 70-80 guests were coming and they were very happy. Tamal Krishna, they all get fed sumptuously. Prabhupada, oh yes, food. Tamal Krishna, where would you eat with them? Prabhupada, no, I was eating also, not necessarily with them. I was seeing that they are. Tamal Krishna, you were in the room though while they were. Prabhupada, yes. Achyutananda was also doing very nice. Tamal Krishna cooking. Prabhupada, yes. Achyutananda, Saswarup, Kirtanananda, these three persons would on my direction do like this, do like this. Tamal Krishna, they were cooking. Unstocked at night. Tamal Krishna, Brahmananda was eating. Prabhupada, in the very beginning, when I was simply alone, Rai Rama, he was there. He was helping me, cooking, washing dishes, carrying my luggage, everything. Very good boy. So Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatho Jaya Mudhiraye Nashtapraye Shabadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22 and Text 5. Tava Sandarshana Eva Tava Sandarshana Deva Channa Me Sarva Samshayaha Channa Me Sarva Samshayaha Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pritya Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pritya Dharmam Aha Rirakshishoho Tava Sandarshana Deva Channame Sarva Samshayaha Yasvayam Bhagavan Pritya Dharmamaha Rirakshishoho. Tava Eva Sandarshanad, by sight, Eva only Chinnaha resolved, Me my Sarva Samshayaha, all doubts, yet inasmuch as Swayam personally, Bhagavan, Your Lordship, Pritya, lovingly, Dharmam, duty, Aha, explain, Rirarikshishoho, of a king anxious to protect his subjects. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Prabhupada. Translation. Now I have resolved all my doubts simply by meeting you, for Your Lordship has very kindly and clearly explained the duty of a king who desires to protect his subjects. Please repeat. Now I have resolved all my doubts simply by meeting you, for Your Lordship has very kindly and clearly explained the duty of a king who desires to protect his subjects. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Manu described herewith the result of seeing a great saintly person. Lord Chaitanya says that one should always try to associate with saintly persons, because if one establishes a proper association with a saintly person, even for a moment, one attains all perfection. Somehow or other, if one meets a saintly person and achieves his favor, then the entire mission of one's human life is fulfilled. In our present experience, in our personal experience, we have actual proof of this statement of Manu. Once we had the opportunity to meet Vishnupad, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and on first sight he requested this humble self to preach this message in the Western countries. There was no preparation for this, but somehow or other he desired it, and by his grace we were now engaged in executing his order, which has given us a transcendental occupation and has saved and liberated us from the occupation of material activities. Thus it is actually a fact that if one meets a saintly person completely engaged in transcendental duties and achieves his favor, then one's life mission becomes complete. What is not possible to achieve in thousands of lives can be achieved in one moment if there is an opportunity to meet a saintly person. It is therefore enjoined in Vedic literature that one should always try to associate with saintly persons and try to disassociate oneself from the common man, because by one word of a saintly person one can be liberated from material entanglement. A saintly person has the power, because of his spiritual advancement, to give immediate liberation to the conditioned soul. Here Manu admits that all his doubts are now over, because Kardama has very kindly described the different duties of individual souls. The Sanstha Bhaktivedanta Parpoto Madhyana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here Manu is expressing his gratitude, fortune of seeing Kardama Muni, a great saintly person. So he is saying, Tava sandarshana deva, by having darshana of you, chinname sarva samshaya, all my doubts are resolved. In fact, they were cut. Chinname. Then, Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pritya, very pleasingly you have clearly explained the duty, dharmam, aha, ririkshisho, a king who is eager to protect his subjects. So, one thing is the Manu is a king, a genuine king, a very exalted king, and obviously he is very anxious to protect his subjects. The protection is extended by educating the subjects in culture, devotional culture. The kings used to rule big vast lands, vast areas, in fact the whole planet, simply by training the subjects in this culture of devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when the king is very eager, and then he happened to meet a very exalted saintly person, obviously the saintly person will give relevant instructions to whoever he meets. Since Manu is a king, Kardama Muni obviously spoke about the duties of a king. And so that has cleared a lot of doubts in the heart of Manu. Samshaya, Shanname Sarva Samshaya. And then all his doubts are cleared, and then of course we see in the next shlokas he continues to glorify Kardama Muni's association. So he is very happy for his fortune to meet such a saintly person who gave appropriate instructions to clear his doubts. So Prabhupada is recollecting his own experience of meeting one saintly person. Om Vishnupa Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati also gave an appropriate instruction to Srila Prabhupada as soon as he saw him. So, if somebody comes to see you for any association, an appropriate instruction should be given so that they become very happy, satisfied. Particularly, a saintly person relieves the anxiety of the person who came to see him. So here we see Prabhupada, as soon as he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, immediately he says, yes, why don't you preach in the Western countries to the English speaking crowd? Then Prabhupada had doubts. He said, we are a dependent nation. Those days India was not independent. So, you are a dependent country. Who will care for your philosophy? The philosophy which from a smaller man or a controlled nation will not be accepted. Actually, that was the scenario in the streets of London. They never used to care for the culture and philosophy of India. They said they are all in fact, some of them used to say that they are not even human beings, they are all tribals. And this is the kind of thinking. So Prabhupada has asked a relevant question: who will care for your message? if our country is dependent like this. And then Bhaktisiddhanta refutes. Authoritatively he answers that this message of Krishna consciousness doesn't depend on any material circumstance. These material circumstances keep changing. Today you are dependent, tomorrow you may be independent, and after some time again dependent, we don't know. This keeps changing, but this eternal message cannot wait for anything of this temporary world. Immediately, by that authority, the status of Bhaktisiddhanta, his great devotion to the Lord, has impressed Prabhupada. Actually, when he met Bhaktisiddhanta, then and there, Prabhupada got the favor of his Guru. The Guru's favor comes in terms of a duty, a service to Krishna. Getting service to Krishna, that is the greatest favor of the spiritual master. Spiritual master's mercy means to get an opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord. This is the mercy. So, Prabhupada is explaining here, he has, by his grace, I am now engaged in his service, the service of the Lord, and I am now engaged in a transcendental occupation, liberated from all the material occupations. Now this is the favor. Real favor of Guru means one gets an opportunity to get engaged in transcendental occupation of serving Krishna always. So that comes by the favor. Only a pure devotee he can favor like this. So Prabhupada has taken up that instruction of Guru. This is one more important thing. As soon as you receive a favor like that, one should take up that instruction very seriously. In fact, Prabhupada always used to quote the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport to Bhagavad Gita's shloka. That word, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Ekeha Kurunandana. That means the devotee, after receiving the instructions from a pure devotee, his spiritual master, Prabhupada, his whole life has to be molded in such a way that that order, the Guru's desires, are made as his life and soul. For example, this body is going on because there is life and there is soul. Inside, the soul is there, the life is there. If the soul goes away, it is called dead, the body is dead. Similarly, a disciple, one who received the favor from spiritual master, a disciple's soul is Guru's order. This is disciple's soul. If he takes the Guru's order as the soul and life, then he is alive. And if the soul goes away, he is dead. A disciple is dead. If that meditation on service, order of the spiritual master is missing. So, day after day, a disciple goes on trying to contemplate on the desires of his master, spiritual master, his orders, and then he is trying always how I can give shape to this, how I can give a shape to this particular desire, that particular desire. Prabhupada is so kind, he has expressed innumerable desires to serve Krishna. That's an excitement because all of us are not having the same inclination. We all want to serve in, according to our capacity, our inclination, and whatever is given to us. So there are so many varieties are available. Krishna is not a static force. Only some static things will satisfy. No, he is a dynamic personality, colorful. And devotees can colorfully, creatively offer many things to Krishna, and Krishna is ready to accept. Prabhupada has given such a framework. He says, I have now given you the framework, the whole structure I have given you. Now you simply decorate. Like, they give you one structure, some bear, some vigraha is there. You can decorate nicely. So similarly, Prabhupada has given everything for successful running of this institution, which is meant to glorify Krishna increasingly. So this that is Prabhupada's immense mercy on us. So a disciple, moment he receives such instructions, such desires of his master, that's it. He should just go on, meditating on such desires and implement. So when a devotee thinks of implementing, even that becomes devotional service. For whatever reason he may not be able to do, he may not be able to do, but his intention is, somehow I want to fulfill this desire. Even contemplating like that liberates the devotee. If he simply contemplates of doing more and more, fulfilling Prabhupada's desires, not possible for a tiny jiva to be able to do all the things, but then his ambition to satisfy spiritual mother, that's very important. But Prabhupada's desires are there, and devotees, we are excited to fulfill all such desires, but still there is an organization. And organization is Prabhupada's organization. Serving organization is Guru Seva. That is also important. Guru Seva, Krishna Seva happens, serving the deities, chanting Hare Krishna, eating prasad. Guru Seva is also Krishna Seva, but Guru Seva is required. Sometimes devotees feel these organizational things, why are they needed? So an organization means there will be some rules, some regulations. There is a requirement of cooperation. This is organization. Then very nicely we all can serve Prabhupada and Krishna to the heart's content. So this is the scenario here. Prabhupada is saying how he has received the favor from his Guru and completely freed himself from the material activities. And then Prabhupada is saying here, if somebody achieves such a favor like that, one's life mission becomes complete. Now this is one more important point. A lot of people, of course it has started in Japan and some parts of the world like that. There is one new disease called What is that? Haki kumako or something like that. Some krikri like that it is. What is that? Great, he is doing, someone is very talented and beautiful and a lot of achievements, everything is going on nicely, and suddenly he becomes isolated, goes inside the room, doesn't talk to anybody, and no friends, no work. It's called loneliness. Now this is increasing. As per one estimate in Japan, about 15 lakh people are into this, what is that? Hakikomako, some disease name is there. And then suicides and many other things we are seeing. Why? Because they have not understood what is life's mission. They don't even know that life has a mission. Every human life has a mission in his whole life. There is something to be achieved. Now that is not known. People have made some temporary things as their mission of life. Accumulating some money, accumulating some power, accumulating all these things. They have made all these temporary things as their mission. And the result will be like this only. New diseases will come. But actually, one's life mission is complete only when he meets a bona fide spiritual master, Prabhupada. Why? Prabhupada then brings the focus exclusively on Krishna. Pure devotional service to Krishna, that is the one's life's mission. This is the life's mission. So, people who are, practicing outside, the devotees who are inside, they have no other occupation. They are completely absorbed in pure devotional service. But the devotees who are practicing in the outside, they also should mold their life in such a way that always they are engaged in devotional service to Krishna. How this is possible? Yogastaha kuru karmani. Second chapter, Krishna gives a hint. So for example, you have to do a job. A devotee should think that this job, I am in this job by the grace of Krishna. My Lord has given me this duty as of now. So let me execute it for His satisfaction. And whatever results are there, let me use it in His service. A devotee connects everything to Krishna consciousness. On the advice of spiritual master and the Vaishnavas, practicing Vaishnavas, they should mold their life in such a way that throughout the day they continuously remember Krishna. So when he offers his results to Krishna, whatever he is doing in his day-to-day life, that kartavya, that also becomes part of devotional service. He may be doing IT job, that job, this business. But if he follows Guru's instruction and offers his results to Krishna, then automatically his service, his work also becomes devotional service. So eating can be transformed into Krishna consciousness. So everything in the life should be molded like that. Even outsiders, any common person, they should know that there are two goals for me in my life. One is the life's mission, a long-term goal. Let us say I am going to live for the next 40-50 years. For this 40-50 years, all along, there is some goal that I have in mind. And what is that? I need to develop my pure devotional attitude, service to Krishna. This is the goal. More and more, more and more, I have to develop my attachment to the Lord. This is the overarching life's mission. Within that primary goal, you may have many, many secondary goals. This quarter I have to achieve this, that quarter I have to achieve this I have to do, that I have to do. People have to have their own duties, because after all we have to survive here. Maintenance comes from this. Yes, Shastra is not against that. But while you are doing that, you should also think, is this contributing to my final goal, my final mission? How can I use this to develop my attachment to Krishna? So this should be the... So when somebody has a life's goal, life's mission, a overarching goal, he will not feel vacuum in his heart. Because even if he is successful materially, there is a vacuum, because he doesn't get any satisfaction there. But when he has an overarching goal like that, all the while when he is working also he is thinking of Krishna. I have some eternal relationship to be revived, established, enjoyed. So a devotee becomes he becomes fascinated. He has got something to achieve. He has something to, give his time for. He will not have that vacuum. Even big people achieving big things, they will have big vacuum in their hearts. Because those things ultimately will not satisfy the internal craving of the jiva. Most importantly, it will not resolve his issues. Chinname sarva samshaya. He still will have a lot of doubts about his life, about his what's going on, everything. So the proof that we have met a saintly person, what is the proof? The proof is the solution. The proof is that Chinname sarva samshaya. All the doubts should be resolved. This is the goal. This is the result of meeting a saintly person. This is the result of having darshan of a saintly person. So that means we should ensure that we meet the saintly person and achieve his favor. Then all our doubts, sarva samshaya chinname. So the practicing devotees, they should be very enthusiastic in resolving all their doubts, sarva samshaya. Actually, within the Vaishnava community, this practicing devotees, there should be exchange of all this, discussing about Krishna, clearing doubts about Krishna, or practice of pure devotional service. This should be our discussion. So Prabhupada is saying they are always wanting to associate with the saintly person and try to disassociate oneself from the common man. Then you may think, where am I associating with the common man? I am, whether I am inside or outside, I am busy with my own duty and then going on in my life. Where am I associating with the common man? Actually, we don't realize we all very strongly we associate with the common man. Why? Thanks to the mobiles. And let us say half a dozen times you are looking into a mobile and then trying to see what is this politician, my favorite politician, is saying. What is he talking? What is he doing? What is his next day's plan? Because they will be disclosing all those things. And then everybody is geared up. Now common man, he may be a very popular politician, but he is a common man. So a devotee should realize who is a saintly person and who is a common man. If that discrimination is there, so he will automatically disassociate. Trying to know some information is different. Association is different. association, if you associate with someone, then what happens? Then there is you will be thinking of him, that common man. His pictures, his talks, his videos, they will be rotating in the mind. You may say, okay, what's wrong? Once in a while I'll remember him also. Then contemplation leads to that association. Your association means is going on in the mind. It's not that you have to personally go sit with him and then talk to him to get association. No, you have to just hear his voice. That's all. Immediately we'll all become very excited. Yes. Sangha sanjayate kama. Then your desires will start influencing. What is your desire? Yes, he has to come to power. Yes, his party has to win. Yes, he has to cross that number. I don't have to tell the number, you all know. So, this is the number he has to cross. We will be desiring for him. See? So, this association of the common man has to be carefully cut off. Janasangha destroys devotional service. There are 6 factors which goes against the devotional service. Janasangha is one of that. So why we have to risk ourselves? Here see Manu so grateful. Tava sandarshana, he is glorifying. Next verses also you will see he is so excited to meet Kaddam Muni. We are also very excited to meet Srila Prabhupada. Why we should unnecessarily divert our attention to a common man, maybe popular, maybe very charismatic, it doesn't matter. A common man is common man. He cannot give you any eternal benefit. And one more thing is, let us say you are thinking of that common man, he doesn't know that you are thinking. But if you are thinking about Krishna, Krishna will come to know that so and so devotee is thinking of me. Now whom do you want to think about? Somebody who doesn't know anything, an ignorant person, or you want to think of Abhijna, the supreme conscious being, immediately comes to know so and so devotee is thinking of. He is very happy. If you want to enjoy that happiness, think of Krishna. If you want to be part of that Janata, common man, then we can go on with those activities of that common man. Similar excitement if we can generate for Krishna, our lives will be successful. We'll stop here. Any question? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.